Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Miss Yvette Speaks, the place where we talk growth, grace, and getting through the real life stuff with a purpose intact. I'm your host, Carly Yvette. To assist with the conversation today, I have my bestie.
Crystal. Hello, everyone.
So today we're doing a mid-year check-in because somehow, somewhere, we blinked and now it's June 2025, like 6 months into the year. Like, I don't know where the time went. So, we're going to start with this first segment, is going to be on our vision boards. How many of you created vision boards back in January? This is mine.
Oh, I love that.
Keep in
Nice.
mind, when we did our vision boards, even though it's supposed to be our vision for the year, you always need to go through, reflect, see if the same goals you had when we did these in January is still in effect. Um, so yeah, that's what we want to talk about first today is on your vision or your goals. If you didn't do an actual board, what are some things that you have found to be changed? So I got a few questions we're going to talk about. So let's start with the first one. Crystal, do you remember what was on your vision board or your goal list for the year?
I actually had to go back and refresh my memory. But some of the top things included strengthening my spiritual relationship with God, being really cognizant of the things that I consume, whether that's, food or products or, engagement with people. Being more physically active was also on the list as well. Less frivolous spending, creating a clutter free environment, and strengthening and cherishing my pre existing relationships.
Cool. I had some of the same ones. Definitely the strengthening my spiritual growth. I originally had some things down about health and nutrition, finances. And one of the big things for me for 2025 was doing more things that made me happy and more focused on myself than always doing for other people.
Well, personally speaking, I'm so glad that you put it on your list because you always do for others.
Yeah.
You have always been like that. And by the way, we've known each other since the
1990.
1990.
1990. 35 years.
So as long as I have known you, you've always put others before you and made sacrifices. So I'm glad that you put that on your list of things to do.
Yeah, and that's still something I need to work on. So, thinking about our list, what's one thing that you actually accomplished so far in these 6 months,
Oh,
even if it wasn't on your board?
um, I lost weight.
Yes.
Not a ton, but significant enough for me to be aware of. I check my weight frequently as part of a program that I'm on where you note your weight for the day, how much water you're intaking, and how much you're eating and what you're eating. And I've lost a little bit of weight. So that for me is good because one of the other goals that I didn't mention specifically was to lose weight. More physical activity was up there, but not specifically to lose weight. So I
Right.
did lose a little weight. I have increased my water intake, as everybody knows. We're mostly water,
Yep.
but me and I'm sure many people do not do well with drinking enough water. So what's helped is an app that I'm on, and I've increased my water intake. So that's been helpful as well. And I think that that has helped to boost the weight loss that I have experienced.
Is this a free app that's in the Play Store or something we have to purchase?
This app was part of something that came through my job where they actually send you a scale. They
Oh,
send you
cool.
a scale, they give you an app, and when you weigh yourself, it sends your weight
Oh,
to the
okay.
app. So it's one of the benefits that I have through my company.
Oh, that's good. So they also focusing on, helping people be healthy and stuff.
Absolutely.
Cool, cool. All right. So me, I also lost some weight. Um,
Yay!
I'm down about 16 pounds since the beginning of the year, and of course have about 20 more that I want to get off. Little transparency. I haven't been very motivated to work out like I normally do. So and this is probably later on, but hey, whatever. I've decided to focus on specific things. So I'm in a challenge group. So we do monthly challenge. So you might do 100 jumping jacks a day, do 100 crunches, and we're doing that for a month. And we hold each other accountable. But I've really focused on first thing in the morning when I make sure I walk the dog for half a mile, just to get fresh air and to get myself going again. Hopefully, I'll be able to commit to that workouts the way I was working out before, at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Right.
But right now, I'm really just more concerned with getting some vitamin D and being outside at least twice a day. So I walk the dog in the morning, and then I walk the dog before it does.
Well, that's progress.
Yeah.
And you're getting the physical activity in. Even though you say it's not at the same level, it's cool. This is a step in the right direction. So that's great. And congratulations on the weight loss.
Yes, same to you, sis.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything on your list that fell off that you are not focused on anymore as much as you thought you would be in January?
Here's what I'll say. Probably there have been peaks and valleys the entire time. Mm-hmm. So, because this is, for me, I feel like it's a long list of things. So, I'll focus on maybe 3 things that are on my list consistently over a period of time. And then I'll notice, oh, hey, wait a minute, these things fell off. So I would say if you add and subtract everything, it's been pretty consistent.
Okay.
With, where I want it to be in terms of increasing what I was doing or doing better at what I was doing. Specifically, strengthening my relationship with God. I find myself just talking to him, not even doing formal prayer.
Right.
It's organic, and again, for me, I feel like it has strengthened my relationship because I'm talking to God more.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
I will say the one thing though that kind of fell off was my engagement in walking. I was doing a program at one time. I don't do that anymore. Now I walk around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
But part of that is an energy level thing. I think when I'm in the house, it's a little bit easier for me to do it. But when I go outside, which is better.
More challenging.
It's more challenging.
And you're getting some vitamin D.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I would like to do better with that. I find that I'm doing it twice a week maybe, but I would like to do more. I would love it if I was doing it at least 5 days a week. So that's the one place I kind of fell off a bit.
Okay. I think for me, at the beginning of the year, I was real focused on saving, like by not going out for lunch during the day.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of food prep and stuff. And to be honest, I have zero desire to cook. And I don't know if it's because I'm the only person in the house, but it's just like, no, I'm not cooking. I'm going to buy something to eat. So that went out the window. That really did go out the window because I was doing really well.
Yeah.
I was prepping every Sunday. And I would have my meal prep ready, different things. Meals would just come to me. I would do shrimp dinners. And now it's like, what you going to eat? A bowl of cereal. I don't care. I'm not cooking. So, yeah, I need to get back on to the nutritional piece. And I think that will help with the weight loss, given that I know my struggles as far as weight with the thyroid issues. We're not even going to talk about hormones and menopause, perimenopause, menopause situation. But I know that with the nutrition, I have a better chance of meeting my weight goal.
Right.
But, again, healthy is more important to me than the physical look of the body.
Right.
So I'm not really, stressed about that part. Anything else you want to share about where we're going with these vision boards?
You mentioned something that kind of resonated with me, which is you just don't feel like cooking sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I know if you have a job like mine, there's pressure at some point throughout the day, and it drains you mentally. So physically, you really don't feel like doing it. But what I see a whole lot of people doing, especially a lot of influencers, is they take a shortcut with the meal prep. And
Yeah.
I think you might have sent me one the other day where you go and you get like the family meal and you just divide it up and
Into
you've
your
got it in the
days.
fridge. So
Yeah.
that is one thing that I actually thought about doing for myself because I always don't feel like cooking.
Yeah,
But,
that was a good
you
one. 'Cause
know,
I think it was Texas Roadhouse family meal is $37 and some change.
and I think
And
I've
you can
had
get
those
like 4 or
too.
5 meals out of it.
Yeah.
I've done factor mail-in orders too.
Oh, yeah.
That worked well because those meals are prepackaged and it has nutritional value on it. So you know exactly what's
Oh,
in it before you order it. So it tells you how many calories, what you're
right.
getting out of it. And I double checked that with Noom because I could enter those in Noom and the factor calorie stuff was correct. It
Oh,
aligned with what Noom had. So I was thinking about doing that again. So it's just I don't know. It's options are out there.
yeah.
Options out there. Or I can eat a bowl of cereal like I do. So, truth be told, your vision board is a living document. You should be going in, reevaluating it, changing things, marking things off, all that. So that's what I will be doing this month is trying to figure out if this is really the same focus that I had in January. And that's not quitting anything, that's growth. Where am I going from June to December? Okay. All right, that's segment 1. Segment 2, let's talk about goals. We kind of hit on this a little bit, but let's look at it in a reset, then starting over. So let's think about what does starting over even look like for right now in this exciting, scary, or freeing. For me, for example, if I say I'm starting over, I'm looking in June and I'm going to try to figure out what's my goal from June to December. Let's say finances. If I'm thinking about, hey, I want to build my savings by December, a certain amount. To me, it's not scary, it's not exciting, but it's freeing to have a goal to what I want to do in 6 months.
Right.
Or even the weight loss. If I want to focus back on nutrition and working out, and I'm say with my weight loss, I try to do in 3-month increments instead of long term. So if I look at in 3 months, I want to be down 10 more pounds.
Right.
You know, I think setting the goal gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I can start over every day. Because I'm telling you now, I could work out and I'll go work out, I'll go work out 5 to 7 days a week for like 6 or 7 weeks in a row. And then I'll be like, nah, the mind, the mental, I don't have it in me to give it 30 minutes,
Right.
but I'll try to get something else in. So starting over to me, I think is just facts. It's just life. Like I see people who are very consistent with different things, and I sometimes wonder, like, where do you work? What do you have on your mind? This has been the most stressful school year I ever had in 30 years. So when I get home, it's called me and the couch and the TV. Even the dog be looking at me like, Mom, you gonna get up today? It's nothing. I have nothing. So it's really a push
Yeah.
to really get to the point, of doing something.
Yeah. I think starting over, I think you just have to focus on the fact that you're motivated to start over at all and pick it back up.
Right.
So I look at it as an opportunity and a reinforcement that you're not giving up.
Yeah.
Because the hardest part is to start,
Yeah.
and even harder is to start over, especially when you feel like you've accomplished so much and then you have a valley where it feels like you dropped off. But to start over, I think is it is positive reinforcement to say that, I'm human, I'm not perfect, and I have committed myself or recommitted myself to doing something that's good for me. So I like that it also gives you structure.
Yeah.
Restarting for me, it makes me format things and think, okay, today, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to do A, B, and C.
Right.
Even with things like my water goals.
Yeah.
Like I hourly look at how much am I intaking, with water. And So starting over can be a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah, so we say that so that y'all just realize that if you hit a plateau and you're not where you want to be, it's okay to just jump back in and start over. Every day is a new day. You're not on this journey by yourself. We're all here to encourage each other. So, hey, if you didn't meet that goal in the first 6 months and it's something that's still important to you, jump back in and start over and keep moving. It's okay. And if you fall off again before the end of the year, jump back in. It's okay. All right. So I know when we were speaking back in January, some of the things that we talked about in our girls group was self-care, self-love. And so I wanted to spend a little time on that because I think it's very important for everybody to put some time in for themselves. So I'll start with you. Ask you this: what's your current go-to self-care ritual, whether it's big or small? Like, what's something that you do for yourself that you consider self-care?
Some people may consider it work, but actually just getting outdoors and taking a walk. And it doesn't have to be a rigorous one. Sometimes for me, it's I need to get away from what I'm doing right now, especially because I work from home.
Yes,
And
you need to get out.
working from home, you can literally stay in the house for days on end and not even breathe an ounce of outdoor air. But for me, it resets me. Going outside and just really listening to the birds chirp, noticing the clouds, looking
Yeah,
at, how sunny it
nature.
is outside.
That's
Yeah, looking at nature. For me, that is part of my self-care because I am typically tied to my desk working. If I
yeah,
am working, and if I'm at home, I'm finding something to clean. I'm looking at something to organize. I need to wash
always
these
something to
clothes.
do.
So to get out and change my scenery and walk, it resets me and it feels really good at the end of that walk. It feels like I've accomplished something and I've given myself some time completely and entirely by myself to do something that's good for me. So that's one of the self-care things that that I've engaged in
Which is
since we
good.
last talked.
That's good. Um, I have a couple. I would say one thing that I stick to, regardless of finances or anything. I'm gonna go get my nails and toes done once a month. That's my treat, and I usually my nail salon has a full bar now,
Oh,
so now I get my pedicure with some rum punch beside me,
okay.
and it's included in the services. So taking care of my nails and my toenails is important to me. It makes me feel better when I have it done. But more recently, in the last couple of months, you know that I've been going to the line dance class
Yep.
every Tuesday night. That's relaxing for me. Any kind of dancing and moving, that's just relaxing to me. And I feel like otherwise I would be at home on the couch. So Tuesday night, and I've invited y'all several times. Come on out and get some steps in.
Not with these two left feet.
Anybody can move. Trust me, you ought to see the people out there. But yeah, so line dancing has been a thing for me, and it's not like they're saying black people ain't paying attention right now. They just got the boots on the ground. I'm paying attention, but I'm also getting the boots on the ground. You pay attention, but just don't get over compensated with that. Everything is going on. Oh, this is a good one for me. What's something you have learned to say no to for your own peace?
Um, Invitations out. I hate to say that, but
Sometimes you have to.
sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And you really have to evaluate how you feel, not how is the other person going to react.
Yep.
So I've some people will call it selfish, but it's not selfish. Again, it is
Self
self-care.
care.
So it's really thinking, do I have the energy for this? Do I
Yep.
really feel like, going out and being social? where's my social battery? You know, is it high? Is it low? And actually taking those things into consideration, because normally for me, the first thing I think is I'm not thinking about me.
No, you're always thinking about how it's gonna make somebody feel,
You always think about that. So
and
I'm not doing
you need to
that
start worrying about
anymore.
your own feelings. Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore. And I find that, you know, I'm already pretty much a homebody, but I have taken more stock in how do I actually feel, and do I actually need this rest?
Yeah.
And it's allowed me to be able to say no without feeling like I have to explain or
No.
no is a whole sentence.
Period. I don't have to
So
tell you why. It's just no.
so that's one
And
thing I've done.
yeah, and what we would notice, because I've also started saying no to people who are really close to me and are so used to me saying yes.
Yeah.
And my therapist literally said, "You're on the verge of burnout. So if you don't start saying no, your body gonna make you say no."
Yeah.
So I listen, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So I just been trying to build all kinds of boundaries in relationships, friendships, and everything that's family, friends, whatever. Because when you're not able to, you're just not able to.
Yeah.
And sometimes, literally, I have zero mental capacity to do anything but take some time for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, no, I'm not coming out today. No, I won't be going to this. No. And it's okay. And normally, like you said, I would feel guilty
Yeah.
that I'm letting someone down. But I've really spent this year focusing on me. Bi-monthly therapy has helped a lot because I could talk to her about whatever, and she just tell it to me straight. Like, you better take care of yourself
Yeah.
before anybody else. So no has become a favorite word. Easy. We sound like 2-year-old toddlers running around. No, no, no. But you have to say no sometime to make sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Indeed.
Love. So one of the things that Crystal and I has been doing for the last few months, we are foodies, so we've been checking out new restaurants, and don't let a food truck rodeo come in the area because we're there early, testing out the food. And to me, stuff like that is good for your self care as well,
I agree.
because both of us will with anxiety or on the verge of depression or be on the couch, in the
Yep.
bed, in the house. To my girl, you all right? You feel like going to it? No, not really. But we say food, that's something we could definitely agree on because we got to eat. So that's something that we actually can get out of the house and do, and just really focus on, that gives us time to also catch up, talk about whatever may come up, like who's visiting tonight or whatever the case may be. And it goes from there. But the food is just the source of the bond.
I want to tack onto that. That's been really good for me because I do have a tendency to stay home. But I think it was not the last one, but the one before that, the food rodeo we went to, just to sit and enjoy people watching and talking and dancing and the company of good people and family.
Yeah.
It's good to be around that good energy.
Yeah.
Which is why I went to the next food rodeo we went to.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. It's because I was around good energy and good people, and I think that makes a difference. So that's been really good for me.
Yes, me too. Looking forward to the next one.
Yes.
So as a group of people, we have to remember there's self-care is non-negotiable. We have to do something for ourselves. And not just something simple. I mean, it could be something as simple as a weekly bubble bath or go get you a massage, but do something for yourself. Add to your list, saying no without guilt, drinking more water, taking a screen break. I have been monitoring. I didn't even know that my cell phone would show me how much time I spend on each app, but it does. So on Sunday when that pops up and tell me how much time, I set a goal of what I'm gonna do the next week because I play a lot of games. Games on my phone is also therapy for me. Don't ask me why, but I love games. So that's therapy for me, and I found this gaming app that pays you to play the game. So yeah, it's financial and it's fun. Talking to a therapist, I already said I talk to my therapist. I go to therapy twice a month, and it works for me. It's covered by my insurance. I don't even have a copay, so God is good.
All the time.
Yes, because no copay. Because at first I was thinking like, oh, $40 a visit, but it's no copay. So take advantage of stuff if you have it, and also asking for help. I'm a Capricorn. I'm gonna lift 1,000-ton car by myself before I open my mouth to ask anybody to help me do it. So that's something that we all can take advantage of, asking for help when you need it. And a thing that I've also started doing this year, any of my friends will probably say, I always say I'm okay. But I have started to say when I'm not okay, because it's okay not to be okay. And once we realize that it's okay not to be okay, that makes you address what's really wrong. So now, when people say, "Are you okay?" Nope, not okay. I'm dealing with blah blah blah, but I'm doing blah 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 to try to get there. Because normally I'm like, I'm fine, and everyone sees through that I'm fine. So yeah. So when you have those strong friends that's always talking about they're fine, check on them anyway because they're probably not fine. It's just our way of getting you off our back for the moment. Anything you want to add to self-care?
No, I think you covered it.
Cool. In the same sense of self-care, we also have self-love. One of the things that I've been doing, that I started this year, January, I don't know, but I sent out a daily affirmation to probably about 20 people every day. It got funny to me when I would miss a day and people would text me, be like, hey, did you forget about me today on the daily affirmation? And I'd be like, oh, I haven't seen it yet, or I have my list of people, and normally my text messages are in a row, and I might miss a person because they don't text me throughout the day. So now they're not in the row, and I have to go back. But to me, helping others is also something that is self-care for me, because it's not only am I not pouring into myself, I'm pouring into people that I care about. So, the daily affirmation still goes on. And again, if you want to be on my daily affirmation list, drop it in the comments and I'll add you to the list. Now, at this closing segment, Reflection Connection, if you could send your January self a message, what would you say?
Keep going. The message would be to keep going. It pays off. You are going in the right direction. But it would be to keep going. Because some days you just kind of don't feel like it. You feel overwhelmed with so many things on your to-do list, because this is essentially a to-do list. But, we have to realize these aren't chores. These are things that we're doing to enhance us and
Right.
to feel better. And we have to get out of the mindset that it is a task or a chore. It is not. Self-care is an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
Including the things that we talked about that, we have implemented this year. So I would just say, keep going. That's what I would say.
I think I would say give yourself grace.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we're usually our own worst critic. We're not perfect. And so I think we should allow ourselves some grace. And just grace.
I can agree with that. And I think you said it earlier as well, that we're our own worst critics. We give ourselves all kinds of hell.
Yep.
And grace is what's going to help us get through this, and realizing we are human and we're not perfect. And this whole thing is a process.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Let's see here. What are you most looking forward to in the second half of the year?
It was something that I actually didn't mention back in January, but it's financial freedom, a little bit more freedom, and through financial intention. So I'm making my last car payment today.
Yay!
So I'll be allocating, thank you, I'll be allocating those funds elsewhere, whether that is a snowball for my credit cards, like a debt snowball, or whether that's investing in my retirement. It will be moved somewhere else so that I don't even notice that it's gone. But that will allow me to be in a much better place later on.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm excited.
That's a
about
good
that.
feeling.
Yeah.
I paid off my car a while back, and yeah, I'm just gonna drive it till the wheels fall off.
That part.
Everybody tell me you can get a new car. No new car, baby. It runs, gets me to A and B. I think for the rest of the year, I'm looking forward to revamping my real estate business. I joined a different team with EXP. So I'm going to focus more on my business because I have to retire from education soon and very soon. Year 30 has been very, very stressful.
Year
so
30.
yes, year 30.
Let's give it up for year
It's
30.
been very, very stressful. So yeah, I plan on spending the next 6 months revamping my real estate business and literally laying out a plan for post-retirement
Right.
because I'm tired. And it is what it is.
And
So.
you'll get it done. You will
Yep.
get it done because you know this is the start of the next chapter and you're preparing for that. So I have faith that you will get things together in a manner that will support you well when you have retired. So.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. In closing on this Reset and Rise, let's just say take a breath. Let this be your reset moment. You can start fresh this month, this week, or this minute. If you have time, update your vision board, rewrite the goals, prioritize your goals, and above all, handle yourself like you would your best friend. Okay? Make yourself your best friend. Any closing remarks, Crystal?
Just hang in there and keep going. And I think one of the main points is just putting yourself first. It's not a selfish act.
Nope.
It is, in fact, self-care. It is how you stay healthy. So, just stay on the pulse of what you've got going on. Listen to your body as well. And don't let it ever get to a point where your body is sitting you down because you didn't sit yourself down. So,
correct. So again, if you enjoy what you heard today, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with other people. We're all in this together. We're here to help us make it through this year. And I intentionally didn't bring up the things that's happening in the world today because I wanted to really focus on self-care. But maybe next month we'll talk about the reality of other things that's going on around us. Thank you and have a blessed day. Till next time.